wrestling.
Yeah.
So, what obviously you did what? You went flying out of the back? What happened at that point?
I went and spoke to him. I said, what the fuck's going on? And he's like, I wasn't paid to wrestle. I was paid to do an autograph signing. I said, so let me get this straight. You sat here all night, signed autographs, took pictures, whatever your deal was, and collected money that you kept, because that's the deal we signed, that he was going to wrestle, you paid to wrestle, whatever autographs he took, he would keep that money. That would be his money, which he did keep. So I paid him. Let's see, does this make sense? Because these Samoans aren't smart. Well, maybe they are, but they're just scumbag scam artists.
Oh.
He was paid, so I paid him to sit there and make money. What did I get out of it? Does that make, you see what I'm saying here?
Okay, so you paid him.
Hold on, this isn't the first time with this fucking guy, Mike Dixon, either, whatever the fuck his name is.
Okay, now you paid Rikishi whatever set amount, and he kept 100% gimmick.
Yes. Yeah.
So you made zero out of that.
I paid him nothing.
Okay.
We made absolutely nothing on the gimmick. We did nothing. We paid him strictly to wrestle.
Okay, see, when I spoke to Mike Dickinson, and he said, the original, he never agreed to wrestle. That he was paid a set amount to appear and do a meet and greet, and if he was supposed to wrestle, he would have been paid the amount you gave him plus the same amount.
Hold on a minute, Nancy, let me ask you something. You do Legends, you do big events.
Yes.
When you go there, when you go to these places, you pay the talent unless you have a different agreement, which is a split or some type of percentage.
For the most part, yes.
You bring in Bob Orton. You say, Bob, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you $1,000. I don't know what you pay. I'm just saying 1,000, like even number.
Okay.
And you pay him. And whatever money he brings in, whether it's $50 or $50,000, that's yours to keep, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, would you pay him $1,000 to sit there, sign autographs, and keep all the money?
No, that
makes no sense.
I would have to be intoxicated if I made that deal.
Exactly. So why would this stupid fat fuck think that I did that, or his agent, or whoever?
All right. But don't you think maybe you're attacking the wrong person?
Not at all.
Wasn't the deal made with Dickinson and Black Hat Events, not Rikishi at all? There was no communication with Rikishi?
There was no communication at all, and I wanted to deal with him directly.
So, shouldn't your anger be towards the booking agent, towards Dickinson, not towards Rikishi?
The anger is towards the guy that didn't fulfill his end of the deal, which is Rikishi. You know what? You fucking Samoans. I'll go back in time. My trainer told me a long time ago these fucks are all sneaky cocksuckers. And it's true. It's fucking true. Every one of them. We had one here in fucking July. I didn't know I was supposed to wrestle, so what the fuck am I paying you for? Scumbag. Scheming scumbag. You want me on your show, I'm going to be totally fucking honest with you.
I'm all for the honesty, but I just think you're opening up another can of worms by just attacking that entire family.
Scum.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Everybody knows it, too. They're fucking scumbags.
Okay, so I guess...
And I shouldn't say all of them. You know what? I met a few of them, and some of them are pretty nice. But these last few that I'm dealing with, scum.
All right. So you're talking about... All right. I'm not even going to bring up the other name. But anyway.
The Sika one time flew back into fucking Samoa, and there was people at the airport waiting to fuck him up. Goes to show you the type of people these people are. You know what I mean?
Okay. So... But again, just let me... I just got to feel like I have to... Like, how come... I just feel like the anger is... It's at the wrong person. Like, Rikishi's only doing what his agent's telling him to do. If I came in...
trying to talk him into doing it.
If I came in, I represented you, Joe, and I said, Joe, just sit there for the next for 3 hours and sign autographs. When we're done, we're packing our shit up, taking the money, and leaving. You're going to do it because that's what you're under the assumption that's what we're there to do. So if you guys had no communication with Rikishi whatsoever, you have to assume that that's what he thought was going on. That he was never told anything else other than you're signing autographs today. They're going to put us on the poster to help sell tickets, and we're keeping the gimmick.
Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. But you got to understand that.
Come on.
This is what the for all I know, the agent gives him $500 and he keeps $500. I have no idea what their deal is.
You're right. You big Samoan, he have no.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, Rich.
This guy is greener than goose shit. Okay. This guy does not know anything about the.
He's not a wrestling agent. He's a nightclub fucking guy.
I'm not. Look, I don't know him from Bob Smith down the block. I'm just I spoke to him earlier. I asked him to come on the show. He didn't want to. He wanted to be off the record. I jotted down some notes of questions that I wanted to get out of him and ask you guys, and that's and then put it before you guys to answer him. And if he wants to come on the show at a later time and throw his side of the story on there, then he's more than welcome. I mean, I don't shut anybody out from having their opinion. Now, let me ask you something, Joe. You've dealt with Rikishi before in the past with Eric Sims. Now,
yes,
when you paid him with Sims, was this price wise almost the same deal?
According to what we negotiated, it's the exact same deal.
So did you just assume that he was that he knew he was wrestling?
I brought this up to this scumbag because I went over to him. I said, "Why is she going to wrestle? What's the problem?" And he's like, "I don't wrestle for that price." I said, "You were here twice. That's with Eric Sims. I don't deal with Eric Sims no more." So what's going to happen? I don't give a fuck about Eric Sims. That's nothing to do with me.
Well, I just wanted to know if maybe you just assumed that the same deal was done with Sims, that Richie did this deal that you just assumed that he knew he was wrestling.
The new deal is going to be, the new deal is going to be, come in, sell your gimmick, make a ton of money, and I'll pay you to do that, and I'll have nothing. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I mean,
these guys are professional con men.
And, now... Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw the rest of those questions out the window.
I just thought up on that school in Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
Now, are you gonna try to recoup your money?
I might take this motherfucker to court.
Now,
have somebody serve him at one of the conventions.
Now, Richie, now I have to bring you in on this because you're the one that handled these situations. Where are these emails and text messages that you should be keeping and logging as of almost like a contract?
Everything was negotiated over the phone. It was a phone conversation that Mike and I had, and I went to scroll back, and I sent him. He asked me the only emails that I have for conversations. He wanted me to send him the flyer, so I sent him the flyer, and it says on the flyer, WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi in action in big bold letters. So it's not like it's fine print. It's there for everybody to see. Agree or not, Joe?
Yeah, he walked in the door. So even if his agent didn't fucking tell him any of this, he sees it right there.
Where I'm sitting in a spot where I'm supposed to, play the middle guy and not take sides. I spoke to Mike earlier, and I started to, kind of see where a miscommunication could have happened, and Richie didn't have.
Yeah, it's a miscommunication. The miscommunication was he didn't freaking tell him that he was wrestling.
Yeah, no. Let me finish. Let me finish. Relax.
Fuck the Samoans.
And I started to say, all right, maybe there was a miscommunication. Maybe there was a little assumptions going on. Maybe the communication wasn't good. Nobody documented anything. But now, that I'm hearing you guys and your side of the story was that the flyer, which I sent him, said that he was in action. So right there, it's telling him way before he got there that he was wrestling. That you guys paid him for the appearance, and he kept 100% of the gimmick, which means he made 100% profit for the night, and you guys made 0 on him, and he didn't wrestle. So
he made
nobody would ever do that in their right mind.
And made $1,000 from me. So this guy made quite a bit of money last night.
Right.
He definitely walked out of there with at least.
Don't even talk about numbers.
Yeah, don't talk about numbers, because what's going to happen is other promoters are going to try to call this guy, and they're going to want similar deals. And
well, I'll be logistics then.
I'll tell you right now, any promoter that does business with the guy, they're out of their fucking mind. They're out of their fucking mind.
He definitely at least doubled his money. Let's just put it that way.
Well, if he went in with 0, you'd only have to make $1 then.
Right.
Sorry, Rich.
I paid for. Listen.
Yeah.
I paid for one of his flights, and I believe Pat paid for the other one because he was at WrestleFlow on Friday nights. So his flight was. I mean, this fucking guy is a scumbag.
And then not only that, Kevin.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, but 2 days before the show, Mike Dickinson emailed me asking me, "Can I change his flight?" I'm like, "What do you mean you want me to change his flight? Because you need him here on another day?" I said, "Absolutely not. I'm not changing it. It's your problem. You fix it. It's not costing Joe or myself extra money when I'm not making no profit off of it."
Okay, now, did you
Hold on a minute. I just got a Facebook message. Hold on. I just got a Facebook message from a gentleman, the owner of Smash Mouth Pro Wrestling in Indiana. And he goes, "I was at a show September 4th, and Rikishi tried to hold up the promoter for $500. Did he do the same to y'all?" If you're listening to Kevin's show, I don't know if you are or not. No, he didn't try to hold me up. He took his money and just said he wasn't doing anything. He already had the money.
Yeah, I gave him the money the minute they got there.
No. Wow. It's getting hard to defend here. Now, Rich, let me ask you this:
5 fucking people, the whole fucking clan of them.
How come you usually you're good for like 3-4 appearances over 2 days or whatever? Like, what? Why didn't you bring him anywhere else?
I tried to bring him elsewhere, but again, I'm not going to get into numbers.
Right.
But the numbers were like Jack back at the Wrestling Universe was interested in booking him at a certain price,
right?
Because he was just at big event 3 months ago, and he's been to his store 3 or 4 other times. Gotcha.
So he got offered a number and he felt lowballed?
And he felt like he got lowballed. And I don't even think that Rikishi even knew that he was even given an offer. He probably sat in his hotel room for the entire day. Instead of making an extra few $100 was at an autograph signing.
Unbelievable. I mean, I don't. Like I said, it's becoming hard to defend right now. I have to stay neutral. I can't. But let me change the subject for one. Well, not really. So let me change the gear for 1 second. Because I know that the locker room was probably pissed off and
the locker room was irate.
Yeah,
and I personally went up to and Joe knows this. I personally
went out there and beat that fat fuck.
And I can't.
Can you not cut me off for 2 seconds? I'm trying to talk to you. Jesus Christ. What you call it?
Oh.
I personally went up to everybody that was involved in that match and shook their hand and personally apologized, even though it had nothing to do with this, because I really, really felt bad for all those guys who really busted their ass as getting ready for this match. And the hard work for training. And you know what? They were all very professional, and took the high road, and they each one of them said, "It's not your fault. It is what it is," and they were very positive, but they were disappointed.
I would imagine so. I mean,
let me get back to that for a minute.
go ahead.
Jake is one thing because Jake has been in there with a lot of guys, but this was a big deal for Tony Booze, for Frankie Getz, and for Chris Benny and Jason Sinclair. This is their first time in there with this is